Good day, everyone. Today we're going to report Chapter 8, which titled Securing Information System. Next. Our learning objectives for this chapter are why information system vulnerable to destruction, error, and abuse. What are business value of security and control? What are components of organizational framework for security and control? What are the most important tool and technology for safeguarding information resources? Next. We all know that Facebook is the largest social network in the whole world. The the main problem of using Facebook, the problem is identity theft and malicious software. In order to lessen or prevent this problem, next slide, system should have security and control. Security policies or procedure and technical measure used to prevent unauthorized access, alternation, theft, or physical damage to information system. While controls, while controls, method, policies, and organizational procedure that ensure safety and organization asset accuracy and reliability, its accounting record, and its optional adherence to management standard. Next. So, why systems are vulnerable? Systems are vulnerable because they are weaknesses that hacker can exploit. It's like having door with weak lock, easy to intruder to break in. Outdated software may weak and weak password make even easier for hacker to access our system. System can vulnerable to network accessibility issue, making it easier for unwanted guests to sneak in. Misconfigure settings and unprotected Wi-Fi are likely secret passage that intruder can exploit. While during disaster, our system are likely castle under attack. Damage power out outage and communication failure weaken our defense. Mistaken can happen, leaving us vulnerable. To protect ourselves, we need backup power and training. With a solid plan, we can defend our digital fortress and keep our system safe. Next, so contemporary security challenges and vulnerabilities. Contemporary security challenges arise from sophisticated cyber threats, vulnerabilities, cloud security concern, and risk of critical infrastructure. Supply chain vulnerabilities and human error further compound these challenges. To address this, organization must implement robust cybersecurity measure, including multi-factor authentication, encryption, and regular security assessment. Collaboration between stakeholder and proactive vigilance and crucial for staying ahead of evolving threats and protecting data system. Next, Internet vulnerabilities. Internet vulnerabilities are weaknesses in internet-related technology that hacker exploit to compromise security or disrupt services. These vulnerabilities include software bug, outdated system, weak authentication, insecure network connection, and social engineering attack. To reduce this risk, it is important to update software regularly, use strong authentication method, encrypt data, and provide security awareness and training. In addition, deploying network security measures like firewalls, firewalls and intrusion detection system can help prevent attacks. Collaboration among stakeholders is essential to address these vulnerabilities to safeguard the integrity of the internet. Next, wireless security challenges. Wireless security faces challenges due to is the unauthorized access, weak encryption, and proliferation of device, through access points, and lack of centralized control further complicate security. To address this, strong encryption and multi-factor authentication and regular updates are essential. Intrusion detection system help detect the migrate attacks while audit identify vulnerabilities. By implementing this measure, organization can better protect their wireless network from threats. Easy to scan radio frequency. Easy to scan radio frequency band pose a risk because attacker can intercept sensitive data transmitted over wireless network. Frequency like 2.4 megahertz and 5 megahertz are commonly targeted. Well, the challenges with SSIDs mainly revolve around security and management. Broadcasting SSIDs can expose network to attack, while managing large number of SSDs can lead to confusion and network issue. Implementing security measures like disabling SSID broadcasting and limiting the number of SSID can help mitigate these challenges. The security of WP stems from its weak encryption and susceptibility to attack like cracking the packet sniffing. It relies to static key, make it vulnerable to unauthorized access and data encryption. Next, Wi-Fi security challenges. Wi-Fi security faces challenges to weak encryption, authentication, variabilities, and proliferation of wireless device. Through access point or various attacks threaten network integrity. Next, malware or malicious software. Malware is a malicious software designed to harm computer, network, and devices. It can infect system through email, website, and software vulnerabilities causing damage in such as data theft and system disruption. To combat malware, use antivirus software, keep system update, and practice safe browsing habit. Next, balik sa. Viruses. Viruses are raw software program that attach itself to other software program or data files in order to execute it. Worm is an independent computer program that copy themselves from computer to another computer over a network. While Trojan horses, software program that appear to begin but then does something other than expected. Next, SQL injection attack. SQL injection attack used by hackers submit data to web form that exploit site unprotected software and send to raw SQL query to database. Then spyware is a small program installed themselves to repetitionally on computer to monitor user web surfing activity and serve up advertising. And last, keylogger. Keylogger is record every keystroke of computer to steal serial number, password, launch internet attacks. Next, hackers versus crackers. Hackers are individuals who use their technical skills to explore and improve computer systems, often for constructive purposes, while crackers are, on the other hand, exploit vulnerabilities in computer systems for malicious or criminal intent, such as unauthorized access of data theft. So activities include system intrusion, system damage, or cyber vandalism. Next. Spoofing. Spoofing is a deceptive technique where malicious actors falsely inform to impersonate legitimate entities, aiming to gain unauthorized access or deceive users. While Sniffer is a tool that intercepts and monitor network traffic, capturing data packets for analyze. While it can be used for legitimate purposes like network troubleshooting, it can also be exploited by attackers to airdrop on sensitive information transmit over unsecure network. Next, next, computer crime. Defined as any violation of criminal law that involve knowledge of computer technology for their perpetration, investigation, or prosecution. Precursion. Computer may be targeted of crime, breach like breach of confidentiality of protected computerized data, and accessing a computer system without authority. Computer may be instrument of crime like theft and theft of trade secrets and using email for threats or harassment. That's all, Lex Reporter.
So I'm the next reporter. Identify theft. So identify theft, this is when someone steals your personal information like your social security numbers, a driver license, or credit card number so they can pretend to be you. We also have the phishing, which means this is when scammers set up fake websites or send emails that look like they're from real companies. They do this to trick you into giving them your personal information like password or credit card numbers. And we have the evil twins, which means these are fake Wi-Fi networks that seem safe, but they're actually set up by hackers. When you connect to them, the hackers can see everything you do online and steal your information. Farming. So farming is this is when a hacker tricks your computer into going to a fake website, even if you type in the correct web address. So even if you type the right address, you end up on a fake site that looks real, and they can steal your information. And also we have the click fraud. This happens when someone or something like a computer program clicks on online ads just to make money, and then without any real interest in the ads or buying anything. It's like someone cheating the system to make money. So we also have the cyber terrorism and cyber warfare. So cyber terrorism, this is when people use computers and the internet to create fear or harm for political or social reason. For example, they might hack into important system like power grids or government website to cause chaos or fear. And also we have the cyber warfare. This is like a war fought with computer instead of guns. Countries might use cyber attacks to damage each other's computer system, like hacking into military networks or disrupting important services like banking or communication. It's a way for countries to fight each other without using traditional weapons. So, internal threats for employees. Sometimes security problems come from people inside the company, and this could happen because they know a lot about the company system or because they don't follow the security rules carefully, and we use lack of knowledge. So sometimes the employees don't know enough about security and can be tricked into giving away information, important information. This could happen through something called social engineering, and where someone pretends to be from the company and tricks employees into giving them password or other sensitive information. Software vulnerability. So this is there are mistake in the computer programs we use, so sometimes there are mistake, and this mistake can make our system less secure, and this mistake are like hidden bugs in the program code, and they can be used by hackers to break into our system. Well, patches is when these mistakes are found, the companies that make the software release small updates called patches to fix them. But sometimes hackers find and use these mistakes of faster than the patches can be made and installed. So failed computer system can lead to significant or total loss of business function. So when computer systems stop working properly, it can cause big problems for businesses. This could mean they can't do important things they need to do, like keeping track of money or communicating with customer. Firms now more vulnerable than ever. Confidential personal and financial data, trade secret, new product strategies. So nowadays, businesses are more at risk than ever before, and if hackers get into their system, they can steal important information like personal or financial data, trade secret, or new product ideas. So immediate impact on market value. If there's a security breach, it can make the company less valuable almost right away. And in liability issues, if company doesn't have good enough security, they could be responsible for any problems can that happen because of it. So, legal and regulatory requirements for electronic records management and privacy protection. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or the HIPAA, is this law set rules to keep medical information private and secure. In the Groundlitch Wiley Act, this law makes sure that financial institutions keep their customer information safe and private. And Sarbanes-Oxley Act, as this law makes sure the companies and their bosses are responsible for making sure financial information is accurate and safe. Electronic evidence. Evidence for crimes like fraud or embezzlement is often found in digital form, like on computers and emails, instant messages, or online transactions. Important of data control is properly managing this data can save time and money when it's needed for legal reason. So, computer forensics. This is a scientific way of collecting, examining, and preserving data from computers to be used as evidence in court. It involves finding data that might not be immediately visible, like deleted files or hidden information. Information system control, manual and automated controls, general and application control. So these are like rules and safeguards that make sure your computer system are working properly and that the information they hold is safe. And also we have the general controls is there. These are the big overall rules that apply to all the computers in a company. They cover things like how the system are designed, how secure they are, and how data files are kept safe. These controls use a combination of hardware, software, and manual procedures to make sure everything is working as it should. We also have the types of general controls. We have the software controls. These are rules and safeguard built into computer programs to make sure they work correctly and keep the data safe. And hardware controls is this are physical safeguard for the computer system like locks and alarms to protect them from damage or theft. And computer operation controls are rules for how computers are used and managed, like schedule for maintenance or backups. Also have the data security controls. Of these are rules and tools to keep data safe, like encryption to make sure only authorized people can see it, and implementation controls is are rules for how new system or updates are put into place to make sure they work properly and don't cause any problems. Lastly, we have the administrative controls. These are the policies and procedures set by the company to make sure all the other controls are followed correctly. So application controls are specific rules and safeguards for each computer program, like the ones used for payroll or order processing. They make sure that only the right data is used and that it's processed correctly. So we have these controls include input controls. So these rules make sure that the data going into the system is correct and authorized. And then the processing controls is these rules make sure that the data is handled correctly while it's being processed by the system. Then the output controls or rules make sure that the result or data coming out of the system are correct and authorized. So we have this risk assessment is figuring out how much risk there is to a company if something isn't controlled properly. So we have types of threat, what could go wrong, how likely it is to happen, and what are the chances it will happen in a year, how much it could cost, so how big of a problem would it be if it happened, and expected annual loss is estimated of how much money the company could lose if in a year if the problem occurs. So we have the security policy. So it ranks the risk of to a company's information. It sets goals for keeping that information safe. It explains how to reach those goals. So we have the EUP or the acceptable use policy. So it tells employees how they can and can't use the company's computers and information. Authorization policies, they decide who can access different parts of the company's information. So identify management. So this is about making sure only the right people can use a company's computer system. This includes identifying user, figuring out who is allowed to use the system, controlling access, deciding which part of the system different user can use, authenticating user, making sure that the people using the system are who they say they are, and identify management system. These are tools that keep track of who is allowed to use the system and what they're allowed to do. So that is for my report. Next reporter.
So I'm the next reporter. System vulnerability and abuse. Security profiles for a personal system. Security profiles for a personal system. These are two examples represent two security profiles or data security patterns that might be found in a personal system. Next, establishing a framework for security and control. Disaster recovery planning devises plans for restoration of disrupted services. Business continuity planning focus on restoring business operation after disaster. Both types of plans needed to identify first most critical system. Business impact analysis to determine impact of an outage. Management must determine which system restored first. Next, EMS audit. Examine firms' overall security environment as well as controls governing individual information system. And reviews technology, procedure, documentation, training, and preventive maintenance. Next, Biang. System sample auditors list of controls weaknesses. This chart is a sample page from a list of control weaknesses that an auditor might find in a loan system in a local commercial bank. Next, Technologies and tools for protecting information resources. Identify management software. It keeps tracks of who's allowed in and what they're allowed to do. It checks ID like username, password, and makes sure only the right people get access. On the authentication, it could be a password, a special key like a token. Next, firewall. A firewall is like for a computer network. It stops unauthorized people from getting in. Technologies include static packet filtering, network address translation, application proxy filtering. Next, a corporate firewall. The firewall is placed between the firm's private network and the public internet or another distrusted network to protect against unauthorized traffic. Next, intrusion detection system. They keep eye on the network to spot any suspicious activity. Antivirus and anti-spyware software. They find this nasty program and kick them out, so this program need to be updated regularly. Unified Threat Management. These are like super powered security system that to do a bit for everything, like a combination of firewall, antivirus, and more. Next reporter, please.
Okay, now let's proceed on securing wireless networks. In securing wireless networks, it is crucial to prevent unauthorized access and protect sensitive data. It involves steps like using strong passwords, enabling encryption protocols like WPA2 or WPA3, hiding networks names, the SSD, implementing MAC address filtering, and regularly updating router firmware. Next slide, please. We also have here the encryption. It is a method of converting data into a code to prevent unauthorized access. It ensures that only authorized parties can access and understand the information. In the context of securing wireless networks, encryption protocols like WPA2 or WPA3 provide encryption for data transmitted over network, making it difficult for attackers to intercept and decipher the data packets. Encryption plays a critical role in safeguarding sensitive information and maintaining the confidentiality of communications over wireless networks. Next slide, please. We have two methods of encryption here. We have symmetric key encryption and public key encryption. In symmetric key encryption, it uses the same key for both encryption and decryption, while in public key encryption, it uses a pair of keys, a public key for encryption and a private key for decryption. Next slide, please. Now we have here the illustration of public key. In public key, let's just imagine Bob has a pair of keys, a public one everyone knows, and a private one only he has. Alice uses Bob's public key to encrypt a message, sending it to Bob. Bob decrypts it using his private key, ensuring only he can read it. Next slide, please. Digital certificate. It is like a digital ID card that verifies the authenticity of a website, organization, or individual. It contains information such as entity's name, public key, and expiration date, and the digital signature of a trusted certificate authority. Digital certificates are used to establish secure connections over the internet, ensuring that data transmitted between parties remains confidential and tamper-proof. Public key infrastructure. Public key infrastructure is a system that uses digital certificates and encryption keys to secure online communication. It involves public and private keys for encryption and decryption, managed by trusted certificate authorities to ensure authentication, confidentiality, and integrity. Next slide, please. We have here the illustration of the digital certificates. A digital certificate is like a VIP pass, like what I said earlier, issued by a trusted authority. It contains your identity information and a unique identifier, public key, ensuring secure access to online services like websites or emails. Next slide, please. Ensuring system availability. Ensuring system availability means keeping systems up and running reliably, minimizing downtime for users. And fault-tolerant computer systems means computer systems keep running smoothly even if parts fail thanks to backup components and error detection. And high availability computing ensures systems that remain operational despite failures, achieved through redundancy and failover mechanisms, minimizing downtime. Next slide, please. Recovery oriented computing. It focuses on designing systems that can quickly recover from failures or disruptions, emphasizing resilience and rapid restoration of service. Controlling network traffic involves regulating data flow for efficiency, security, and prioritization using methods like QoS, firewalls, and access control. Security outsourcing. Security outsourcing involves delegating security tasks or responsibilities to external third party vendors or service providers. Next slide, please. Security and the cloud. It encompasses protective measures for data, applications, and infrastructure hosted in cloud environments, safeguarding against unauthorized access and security threats through encryption, access controls, and monitoring. And securing mobile platforms means protecting devices, operating systems, and apps from threats like malware and unauthorized access through encryption, device management, and secure coding. Next slide, please. Next. Okay, ensuring software quality. Ensuring software quality means implementing rigorous testing and quality assurance practices throughout the development process to meet specified requirements and ensure reliable performance. And that's all for the chapter 8 of Management Information Systems. Thank you for listening.